Hello and welcome to the Consolidation Report, August 2013 to September 2013. So as usual, I have some administrative information. Videos include data from the 1st of August 2013 to the 30th of September 2013. And as always, this will be a three-part report. This is the fifth consolidation report now. It's going to be three parts. I'm going to talk about the awards first, and I'm going to go through a detailed day-by-day analysis of everything that's happened on this channel in the last 2 months, and then I'm going to finally finish with a Minecraft item which I've covered in the last 2 months that I wanted to draw special attention to as being, the sort of best or standout feature of that particular period. How that's going to work in the it's been an interesting couple of months, so that'll be interesting. But I've already chosen it, so it's fine. So let's start with the awards. So the first award, that go from top to bottom as usual. We've got the diamond block, and the diamond block this time I've made it more of it's a cumulative thing really. So I've got 10 videos over 1,000 views, 9 over 500, 14 over 200, total all up, and you get 33 videos over 200 views. So yeah, originally when I actually changed the channel layout to support those things, the categories were fairly sparsely populated, and the sort of goal is, I suppose, as they get more, especially this sort of 200 is likely to become more densely populated than the others. So I could possibly, just try and keep everything sparse. But I do want to have these three categories, and as long as there's enough to actually fill up the actual page, could potentially change that. And we've got MFS is getting close to 2,000, and yeah. So, but there's been a lot of videos coming through, and I'm going to speak more about that in the day-by-day analysis. A lot of this is going to be the day-by-day analysis is going to be quite interesting this time. As regards to the gold block, we've got the Mistcraft video, the 10th to break 1,000 views. The Mistcraft video has really been very, very good. The response has been, it's very high in search rankings. Even for the word Mistcraft, it's on page 2, which is, it's just really down to the fact that people just watch it a lot. They watch it more minutes of it than other people's videos, and that is really what I want to see. And yeah, I've got 2 Mistcraft videos in over 1,000 views now. But then again, Mistcraft is one of I don't know how many videos. Yeah, sometimes you think, why don't you do Mistcraft videos all the time? But there's only so much you can really say about Mistcraft, and it's constantly evolving, and I'm sure I will turn back to it. How I do it, and obviously it's such because of the system it works. It's such an integral part of things anyway that you're very likely to return back to anyway. So yeah. Then we've got the iron block, and yes, this one is, to be honest, it's not exactly a video which I thought was going to be hugely successful. I was fortunate enough to have someone to post it on the wiki site. That was very fortuitous because it's been really bolstered very high now, for something quite obscure like that. In the video when I did it, it was one of those videos where I just got a certain sort of I don't know what it was about that video, but it seemed to just go so well. I made a couple of little mistakes about the mapping between the nether to the overworld coordinates, but even the little mistakes I made seemed it added well to, and I didn't, it added well to the thing in the video. Because often when you make a little mistake, it actually doesn't really matter that much. Is if you make a mistake and then you sort of go for 5 or 6 minutes afterwards, just thinking what is wrong with it, and then only after it, and then you realise it's the most stupid thing that you should have considered right away, and you shouldn't really have had those few minutes in the middle, where you were just sort of just thinking, just like running about, checking loads of random shit that doesn't matter. But yeah, that one just, I made the mistake, but but that's what, but you want to have the mistakes, but you just want to be able to fix them immediately. And you know, it's just one of those things that video just went very very well. I think I actually did that the day after the Mistcraft video as well. So, but yeah, and yeah, the stone block. Really, I've just I've had extra trees that's over 500. The Tura, well, the part two that I did of that was received very well. It's nice. People, everyone, people watch that for a long time. Well beyond you know sort of average sort of stuff. And the Tinks Construct, yeah, still doing well. Darkcraft, I really did a very tight Darkcraft video, so hoping for that to be to have a sort of long tail. So anyway, that's the award section this time. So let's move on to the day by day analysis. Okay, so let's talk now about the day by day analysis of August 2013 to September 2013. And yeah, as you can see, this list is getting humongously long now. It's not great, but it's there anyway. One of these days, I just get an Access database and then put this all in and have all these different, just pull information in a coherent and sensible way, and everything will be great. Not today. Okay, so I started off August with Cloud Jump. Cloud Jump, so I imagine it's a parkour map set in the clouds, and yeah, it's a good map. And yeah, let's carry on with this. Obviously, at this stage, in July, August, and September, it's eight maps at the beginning of each month, changing to 4 for October to December and 2 for the beginning of the year. So it's a bit like that, really. And yeah, so I went through all those things, and those maps went pretty well, and enjoyed that. Yeah, it's just to kind of not exactly to hone my skills, but at least to maintain them in a sense. So yeah, so I just did that, and it's pretty good. Another thing I'm going to briefly mention as well is yeah, I probably should have mentioned it earlier actually, but yeah, the fact is with the playlist system, I just wanted to be just to talk about that here. The way that my playlist is going to work, right, is that you can see I've got that 1.2.5 playlist, and that's going to include all the mods from that, and then afterwards you've got it's basically the way it works is it goes from earliest Minecraft version to latest Minecraft version. It goes from A to Z, with earliest Minecraft version taking precedence over alphabetization, and that is how it works. With new mods only being featured in newer playlists, and that is because it works better if you keep all your playlists exclusive in terms of how YouTube deals with these things. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the 9th of August. We've got Forge Multipart, the Feeder Beast Part 1. Now, Forge Multipart is a huge thing to actually, it's always been a huge thing, like to place, place 5 redstone torches in 1 block space, and you can also replace their 2 levers in 1 block space as well, which is a new thing, and that was something which is really, I mean, the functionality and the endpoint and the consequences of it, they're not going to be found out for many months, but it's going to be very, very interesting how things are going to develop with that in place. Now we move on to Nucleum Omnium. Obviously, I've just spoken about that. Nucleum Omnium, it went fantastically well. It's just one of those videos where you hit every single button that you want to press. You make the mistakes, but you're not like waffling for 6 minutes with the mistake. You solve it in about 10 seconds, and that's just exactly the way you want to do it. Because if you solve that problem in 10 seconds, then it's like then you can see that you can see how it's been solved. It's just been solved quickly. If you take minutes and minutes, you're fucking incompetent. But if you solve it really quickly, it shows that you're reacting, and that's the difference. That's the difference. There's plenty of times where I've just, in that fucking extra utilities fucking video, I was like, why the fuck isn't this? Is in this this stupid fucking sacrificial whatever activating, and then it's just like, oh, it's fucking daytime, And I spent about 6 minutes just thinking about that. This is fucking stupid. But in that Nucleum Omnium, I made a couple of mistakes, but I just corrected it every single time. And everything just went just went so well, just incredible. Then I did Ropes Plus. I went my first sort of foray into Infamy. Was it a foray into Infamy? No, it wasn't a foray into Infamy. I must use that word somewhere else. But anyway, yeah, I actually got stuck in a Hummer there, upside down. I couldn't get out. I tried to move into creative mode, but unfortunately, I was stuck in this stupid fucking flans mod vehicle. But yeah, it was a funny video anyway. I used a grappling hook and the hook shot. I quite like that. I quite like that mod. Ropes Plus, pretty cool. I did Darts 2, Dark Cloth Part 2. Yeah, I just went through the commands that were added to the console. Really, it's nothing really that exciting. It's just adding, giving you loads of items and stuff. And the XP thing was funny. Yeah, for some reason I gave myself 1,000 XP and then I got 32. Yeah, got 32 levels. I think that's what happened. I don't even know why that's there, but it is there anyway. And yeah, it went all right. The first part I did a really tight video. The first one, it just went through everything incredibly fast. It is 6 minutes 49 seconds, and it was just like boom. I just did it so fast, and that one went really well. The first one, but the second one was yeah, I'm just going through the commands, so it was never going to be like quite as popular, or whatever. I don't know. And then yeah, from the 13th to the 17th, it's back to academic time. So yeah, at this stage, just want to get these videos out. I just want to say, you know what, maths, biology, chemistry, electronics, that's what I'm doing. I don't want to talk about it too much. I am going to add the descriptions later, of course. And these are all just placeholder descriptions. But at the end of the day, I don't want to add too many descriptions, get too many fucking, So that's why I just did it. Just did it right at the beginning, just get those videos out, and also once I move on to the September academic videos, I'll speak a little bit more about the strategy there as well. Well, not the strategy, but the things I'll be doing. So then I moved on to Infinibo. So Infinibo was yeah, it basically just holds. It just it's very useless that an infinity bow requires at least one arrow, and that just it negates that. Now, the end of August was a very, very interesting period. I started with Natura Feed the Beast Part 1, and yeah, at the very beginning, I was just like shocked by the fucking size of that fucking heat scar spider. And it was a very topsy turvy video. That one didn't do that well, but I went through a hell of a lot of information, and it went really, really, I really enjoyed the video. But anyway, and the next day, I was back to a much more sort of fluid movement, and it's just everything just went perfectly there. And I was just describing things in a clear and concise and just good manner. And yeah, it's probably as mentioned by the fucking link to the description there. But yeah, part 2 went well. It's actually done quite well on people watch that video for a long time because it's a good video. That's what I like. I mean, it's actually nice when you see it and you think, I made a good video. People have watched it for a long time. Good, And then Dimensional Doors. Wow, Dimensional Doors possibly the only. I don't want to say challenger to Mistcraft, but it's certainly got it's very, very interesting. I didn't even bother looking at the custom made rooms or anything like that because I found that very boring. But yeah, I mean, I just enjoyed doing that, and especially the second part when I used the riff signature. The way that the riff signature works in comparison to the linking book is to be honest, I find it better. I don't know why, but I do. And then again, this thing stuff with the new unlinked linking book and some of the later versions of Mistcraft may well spell interest for future versions. Dimensional Doors though is very, very interesting. That one, Dimensional Doors. When I put concurrent integer sequences at the end of the line, then you know that I'm going to be. I'm quite happy with what I've produced in that part 2 there of Dimensional Doors. Went well. Then we got Cameracraft. Cameracraft went, one of those ones that it was discontinued in version 6 of the New World mod pack, but I was using version 5.6 at the time, so it's still there. It was an old version when I was using it. Yeah, this idea that I found in the second part when it was because I was looking at all the teleportation stuff at the time and the portals and the linking whatever and yeah, I just thought the fact that you can take a photo and then you convert it into a poster and then that poster becomes a portal and then you can see the whole thing. It was I just thought it's such a good idea and it really was the only way realistically, I mean, you can create a nexus in like obviously the other mods, but to actually be able to see exactly where you're going through the whole lot, I mean, it's like, you can't do that in any other mod. You could literally have like 1,000 different places to go to, and you could see every single one of them. You could see all the buildings and all of them just by that whole fact that you can actually take the photo of it. I really like that functionality of Camera Craft. Whether the mod itself, the rest of it is that useful, I'm not sure, but that particular functionality is very, very. I really enjoyed that. And then I carried on with New World. I started to go into some of the more detailed mods, the armor status and direction HUD mods. Armor status HUD and direction HUD mod rather. And yeah, I like that. So I first just looked at the different ways of the armor durability can be displayed. Some of the color changes, and then I looked at the direction HUD and actually put some custom images in there. Tried to do my own compass and stuff like that. I found the mapping of the PNG file quite an interesting topic. Did that. Then on the 27th, I moved on. And I moved on to the XX Norgate in Minecraft. So, double X Norgate, that went pretty well. But unfortunately, the next day on the 28th, I did the double vertical X Norgate in Minecraft, and that went a lot worse. A lot worse, because the second one I couldn't get to fucking work, unfortunately. And I think I'd probably just messed up the operator precedence, but the block placing precedence, but it was a fucking disaster, and I thought, well, after all these fucking months, I've done it right every single time, and this one is the only one that's not going to work. Kind of annoying, but I don't know. In a way, you sort of think, you know what, with all these logic gates, all this stuff, there's going to be plenty of times it's not going to work, so you better get fucking used to it. Yeah, well, I don't know. It was kind of annoying in web, but to be honest, when you make a video every day, you just get over it. It's pretty much within a few hours, or even less sometimes. To be honest, sometimes it's not like you just don't even give a fuck after you uploaded it. And then we got biomes aplenty. Use the ancient staff to summon the floating island, led to the promised land. It was quite a buggy version because it was the very first time the promised land had actually been incorporated into it. So yeah. Then we did Natura Feed Abyss Part 3. Yeah, I just went through all the menus in that one. Nothing really huge. I made sure I covered everything else, especially that massive fucking tree. Redwood. Creeper Collateral was the last video of the month. Wrote for quite a long detailed description with a sort of probabilistic flavour. And yeah, went alright. Got a few views for that one. Then we move on to the next one. I did Parkour Training Facility. It's quite a grueling, gritty sort of map going through. It was a lot of fun though. I really enjoyed it. I did base jumps around corners, sprint jumps. I did ladder jumps without obstacles, with obstacles, and the more difficult jumps. I probably got about 90% of the jumps. I didn't take that long on it. It went very well, to be honest. And it was good. It was good to see that, my parkour skills are actually, while they're not like, I would, they're probably better than like sort of 60% of people, I guess. So. And that is at this stage, I think it's good enough. I think I can work out how to get them better, but to get these skills better in a formulaic way. Finished off Christmas parkour, and then I started on what is going to actually be the final couple of parkour maps I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to adventure afterwards. Parkour and tube and flash parkour. Flash parkour being a speedy flash map. And parkour and tube being sort of standard jumping up side of a tube. Good maps, and I'll complete them both in the next few days. Then move on to Infernal Mobs. Now, Infernal Mobs was pretty fun, to be honest. There's 26 different abilities in the Infernal Mobs. I ramped up the config file to give myself so I could get access to all of them in one video, and yeah, went pretty well, to be honest. it just seemed to, I don't know, it's just a good video really. I just enjoyed making it. A lot of mobs on the screen, and my arm took a real beating, but yeah, to see those, just describing it, just reading off the page I was doing it was good. I moved to hats and hat stands, went to the UI and functionality of that. There's an achievement system in hats as well. And yeah, just went through that really. Then death timer. Death time, I believe that's part of Nuclear Omnium. Yeah. And I went through some of the commands there. Yeah, the sound thing I couldn't quite get to work. I had to look at the way that sounds are produced in Minecraft. It's not really, just to be honest, I don't really want to look at that issue that much. The rest of it I seem to get to work though, so you know. I know there was a stopwatch issue as well, but I didn't really try the stopwatch bit. Maybe if I try the stopwatch bit, I can do that. And yeah, then we move into biology. Finally, the 13th to 17th, obviously back here. So this is where I'm going to talk. Yeah, so basically every 4 episodes of each of these topics, I want to do a recap. And you can see I've actually started putting descriptions in. Which is cool. I put a description in for Maths 5 as well for the unbounded intervals. And yeah, but I also want to have a longer piece where I'm actually talking about just about the topic really in more detail. Basically make it like a practical session. So basically say that the episodes themselves are like lectures. Every 4 episodes are like a review, and then the longer periods is like a sort of practical session. That's the way I want to do it. Okay. So yeah, then after that we moved on to applied energistics, and yeah, that was pretty good. I quite enjoyed applied energistics. I haven't really looked at it before. It seems to be an interesting sort of network. But at this point, obviously, I've seen a lot of these different networks now. Whether it's better than the others, I'm not sure. It's certainly the way you can store a lot of items in a central depository. But it's one of it's like one of these things, like it's storing a shitload of items in one place. A good idea. And the answer is possibly. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure really. I've only just restarted looking at that. There's going to be a lot more episodes of that. So yeah, I just start out with it. I'm not sure. And then in there we had extra utilities where like I was mentioning, that was fun. I spent a long time just thinking, how do I get this altar thing to work? And then I realised it's daytime. That's why it's not working. Good episode, and also I didn't actually disable the infernal mobs either, so that made it even more interesting for extra utilities episodes. I moved on to Applied Logistics Part 5, did that. The level emitter, that was quite interesting. I couldn't get it to work. It seemed to always just emit one extra pulse. In retrospect, perhaps I should have used dark cable, so maybe I could possibly have averted that. Often these times when you get one extra thing, you get one extra thing, you're like, yeah. I mean, you obviously don't want it like that, but at least it's working. But no, you can't really know. That's not really the way to look at it. You have to really try and get it perfect, get it working as intended, because otherwise it's not really working. That's a better way to look at it. And then I moved on to translocators. Yeah, I'm actually going to be speaking about translocators in a minute for the final section. Going to recreate what I did there. So yeah, it's very, very, very good though. Modular power suits, of course. I just started looking at modular power suits really. To be honest, the last few videos I've done in the last few days, I've done a lot. I put some really, I've put quite a lot in. I mean, not so much in modular power suits, but Pumps Harvest Craft, I put in a huge amount. it's a very hard mod to cover, Pam's Harvest Craft, and yeah, I feel like I did a really good job on it, to be honest. I really enjoyed doing it to the normal and the regrowth crops, and yeah, yeah, it still went well, these things. And yeah, so and with modular power seats, I just in the beginning I covered the power fist part 1, and then part 2 I just did. I just wanted to go fast, so I did the sprint assist on the leggings, and then that made it work. And then yeah, and then obviously I did the RS Norlatch because it's right at the beginning of the whole new sort of. Okay, yeah, so I can see that actually that's a bit of that is just cut off at the end, and yeah. Basically, for the last sort of few days, then I just went through modular power suits. So I did power fist, and then the second part I did, I just did the sprint assist stuff for Pam's Harvest Craft. Did a lot of work into it. First part, I just went through some of the items, some of the normal crops. And then the second part, I did a lot more. I did a lot of regrowth crops. I did the bushes. I did the trees, both the bushes, both normal and regrowth. And I went into the regrowth crops as well there. RS Norlatch in Minecraft, vertical RS Norlatch in Minecraft were videos that were fairly simple to do because I was in a position, it was just the start of this new topic of looking at memory as opposed to just a gate. So fairly simple to do those videos. Yeah, and like I said, the sprint assist, trying to go a bit faster on these things. Yeah. So that's all we want to talk about now. Obviously, consolidation report today. Okay, and to finish off this video, I just want to go into what I did with the translocators. The great thing about the translocators, right, is that what you can actually do is they seem to be able to mediate in a way, or at least sort of yeah. Hello. Fuck's sake. Yeah, they seem to just be able to do that kind of thing where they can just make sure that the levels of everything are perfect. Which in a way is pretty cool because if you think about it, it would actually, because the advantage of that, yeah, is that the system, I mean, this is obviously just sort of like any sort of system, but it basically means that anything can be stored in such a way that it will always, it'll always sort of run properly. And with that fact that if it's always going to be running like perfectly, it means you could probably do sort of tests on it and stuff. So yeah. So anyway, put the firebox there, and then you put the boiler tank there, and then you go underneath it, and well, I've already kind of got some water here. I could just put a bit more in there, maybe. Yeah, you can just put that, and then you just put the aqueous accumulator down, the output on there, and then putting the liquiduct in there. And you can see that the water is going to build up. And you can see it's got no coal there. So basically all you have to do at this stage is to get the translocators. Funnily enough, with translocators, there is a liquid translocator item. So yeah, I'm not gonna go overboard in terms of what I actually want to try and do here, though. And like I said, this is also to do with the Forge multi-part thing. In that, yeah, it's these two blocks are in the one block space. You wouldn't normally be able to replace them like that. Yeah, maybe you have to put the coal in first. That's actually going in. That can't be right. How weird. Yeah, I didn't even look at this before. It's certainly working now. It's cool. It's cool. I like it. I didn't. It's something. That's cool. I mean, I'm not really supposed to actually know new things and actually do it, but I guess that's part of what's going on. Certainly learning not new stuff at the moment, but it's got to get on with it. Anyway, that's the end of the consolidation report. Not really quite like my standard consolidation report, but such is life. Thanks for watching.